Bonjour. In this lesson, which is Module 3, we are going to learn and review some of the verbs that we saw last year and in trimester 1, and we are going to learn new verbs in present tense. And these verbs, you're going to need them for this unit, which is the clothing, and to talk about what you're wearing. So here you go. The objective of the lesson is to recognize and understand the verb porter, which is to wear, and then you're going to see other verbs that are similar to the verb porter, and as I said, the ones that we learned before. And I am going to review with you how to conjugate a verb, especially the verb porter, and then how to use it in sentences. So first thing is that when it comes to verbs, remember that we say le verbe in French, and remember that a verb is very important, and it is an action word, and you cannot have a sentence without a verb. And verbs in French, we have three different categories. We have verbs at the end with er, verbs at the end with ir, and verbs at the end with re. And porter is going to be a verb that ends with er, which is it belongs to the first group, and it is a regular verb. It means it follows the same rule as er verbs in present tense. Here you go. It is, as I said, it is a regular verb. It means that it follows the same rule as what the er verbs that we learned before. So, and it follows the same steps. It means that when it comes to the conjugation, first you're gonna have to remove the er at the end of the verb porter. Then you write the verb without the er, which is gonna be porte, and then you add the correct ending based on the pronouns. And next slide, I'm going to show you how to do it. So remember that for je, since we remove the er, we're going to have to add an e. So it's going to be je porte, tu portes with an es, il porte with an e, elle porte, on porte with an e at the end. Nous portons is going to be ons. Vous portez easy, il porte ent, and elle porte for female is going to be ent. So remember that the ent, when you pronounce it, it is silent. You do not pronounce it at the end. You just say porte. Except nous and vous, you will have to pronounce the ending, which is when you say portons and portez. And here is another verb that is a little bit similar to apporter, because it has the porter at the end, and it has that prefix ap. So we do conjugate it the same way as porter, but it has a different meaning. Apporter means to bring something and leave it there. So we're gonna have to. You will see that we have other verbs that they're going to be a little bit complicated when it comes to like mener or amener and then apporter. So porter means to wear or to put on. Apporter means to bring something and leave it there. Just like when you say to bring something, you're just like holding something and taking it. It's an object, it's a thing, it's not a person. So, and then you're taking it somewhere and leaving it there. So when you want to say for the first pronoun, it's going to be j'apporte, tu apportes, il apporte, nous apportons, vous apportez, ils apportent. J'apporte, tu apportes. So I do add like a Y sound here because of the two vowels. J'apporte, tu apportes, il apporte, nous apportons, vous apportez, ils apportent. So, and here you go. There is a video that I added here for you to see the difference between apporter and emporter, and porter and emmener. You're going to see those verbs. So just you're going to have to be careful between the two verbs, which is apporter, as I said, is to bring something and leave it there. And then emporter is going to be to bring something and take it with you. So for example, if you're saying, a pizza emporter, it means to go. So basically you're getting that pizza when you order it and you're taking it with you. You're not just gonna put it somewhere and leave it there. No, you're taking it with you. So that's the difference between apporter and emporter, and this is the video that explains it more. I'm going to go to the next verb. It's the verb mettre, and you are going to need this verb to be able to describe what you're wearing. So we saw the verb porter, and this is another verb that you can use with clothing. So mettre belongs to the third group, which is the verbs ending with an re. This verb is irregular. It means it doesn't follow the rule, and because you're going to have to remove the double T, so you're just going to you will have to remove TRE for some of the pronouns, and then you will have to put the T, the second T, you're going to have to put it back. So it is an irregular verb. That's why, because it does not follow the rule of regular verbs. So when it comes to the conjugation, it is going to be je mets. TS are silent. Je mets means I put on or I'm putting. Tu mets, il, elle, or on met. Nous mettons, vous mettez, il or elle mettent. Je mets, tu mets, il met, nous mettons, vous mettez, il or elle mettent. Another verb is the verb choisir. And again, when you're learning the students, like for example, if you're buying something, you will learn how to say, oh, I will choose this one. So you're going to need to know how to conjugate the verb choisir, which is to choose. And again, pronunciation, it is regular. It follows the IR verbs rule. So it's going to be je choisis, choisis, je choisis. IS at the end, silent. Tu choisis, il choisit. So OI is a wa sound in French. Again, from the beginning. Je choisis, tu choisis, il choisit, nous choisissons. Nous choisissons. So S, one S between two vowels, we pronounce it as a Z sound. And if you want to pronounce it as an S, we put it as a double S like this. So that's why you will hear a Z sound here and an S sound here when I pronounce it. It's going to be nous. Remember, the S is silent for nous. Nous choisissons. And again, the S silent at the end. Nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils choisissent, je choisis, tu choisis, il choisit, nous choisissons, vous choisissez, ils choisissent. And here's the verb aller, which is to go. Remember, we learned the verb aller last year and trimester 1, and we learned when you talk about near future, which is I'm going to do something, we use the verb aller. So aller is going to be je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. Again, one more time, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because we've seen it many times. Je vais, tu vas, il va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont. And remember that near future or the future proche in French means that you use it to talk about something that you are going to do in the next, let's say, 24 hours or in the next 2 days. And it talks about something that it's not something that you're going to do next week or next month or next year. It is something that you're going to do in the next couple hours or one day. So, and as I said, we learned the future proche last year. Remember, the way we do it is similar to near future in English, which is when you say, I am going to, and then you add whatever you're going to do. I'm going to explain to you the lesson. He is going to travel to Egypt. Like in this afternoon, for example, and I'm going to call you next hour. So this is basically future proche, and the structure of future proche is that we put the verb aller in present tense with the pronoun with je, tu, il, or elle, and then you add the verb that you want to talk about. Here's an example. Je vais aller means I'm going to go. I can change aller with another verb. Je vais manger. I'm going to eat. Je vais parler. I'm going to talk. So, je vais aller. Tu vas y aller. Il va. Il va aller, nous allons aller, vous allez aller, ils vont aller. And again, another example, il va dormir chez ses amis. She's going to sleep in her friend's house. And on va faire du vélo ce weekend. We're going biking this weekend. I'm going to add the translation there. And here's the last slide that I'm going to be talking about. Sorry, I forgot to do this one. So when it comes to the negative form, which is when you're saying, I am not going to do something. So you have to put ne before the verb aller, and which is the first verb, and you have to put pas after the second, which is after the first verb. And remember that aller, you can replace it with any other verb. The blue color, you can change it with any other verb. You can change it, as I said, with the verb manger, with the verb chanter, with the verb danser, and you keep the verb as it is. The only one that you conjugate when you're doing future is that you are going to conjugate the verb aller in present tense. So yeah, that's